I had to nearly die for people to take me seriously story. After 3 years of living in my mother's basement taking care of her before she passed, moving into a luxury condo felt like the first good thing to happen to me for a long time. Then I noticed the black spots. They were nestled in the ceiling vent above my bed, dusty, speckled, and impossible to wipe clean. I emailed the building manager, expecting maintenance. Instead, I got a reply from the HOA president. Mark, that's just dust, or maybe even shadows, he wrote. Don't tell me you're one of those hysterical types who thinks everything is toxic now. I asked if we could test it. He said, unless you've got a PhD in mold, take a deep breath and relax. Ironically, taking a deep breath was about to get a whole lot harder, because that's when I started coughing. Fully body rib bruising hacks that left me dizzy. My throat burned like I'd swallowed bleach. I mentioned it at the next tenants meeting. Mark chuckled and said, maybe spend less time on WebMD and more time at the gym. So I went home, unscrewed the vent plate, and pulled out a dense tar-colored clump the size of a grapefruit. I sealed it in a Ziploc and shipped it overnight to a lab in Phoenix that I found online. The results came back a week later with bold red letters. Toxic mold, Stachybotrys chartarum detected. Sent the report to the HOA. They responded in under an hour, but not with an apology or a cleaning plan. They were issuing me a $500 fine. Unauthorized testing, they said. Defamation of shared property. I was too tired to fight them at that point. By then, I could barely stay awake. My chest felt like it was caving in. I missed 3 days of work in a row and got written up for the first time in my life. I knew I needed to get out of there, but years of neglecting my social life to care for my mom meant I didn't have anyone left I could ask to take me in. Then one morning, I was trying to step into the shower and I collapsed. I remember the tile swaying back and forth before my eyes, the hiss of the water, and then blistering pain and panic as I tried to draw in air and got nothing. I remember thinking, this is it. This is how I die. Naked and alone because no one would believe me. Thank God I somehow got to my phone. I passed out from lack of oxygen right after dialing 911 and woke up in the ER with a tube in my side. My right lung had partially collapsed and a biopsy revealed mold spores in my sinus cavity. My pulmonologist asked if I'd been exposed to hazardous indoor air. I told him about the lab report and he raised his eyebrows and said, you need a lawyer. So I got one. Instead of going to the HOA, we went straight to their insurance provider with the lab report, the HOA's response with the fine, the biopsy, and the hospital bill. Within 4 days, the insurance company sent their own inspector. By the end of the month, remediation crews in hazmat suits were ripping out entire walls like the building had been crime scene taped. The just dust or shadows had spread to 12 other units, and 3 other tenants were already sick. And Mark? Turns out he lived on the 3rd floor. Mold had bloomed behind the headboard of his bed like an ink blot test from hell. My near-death experience probably faced his life. Instead of a thank you or God forbid an apology, he resigned with a farewell email blaming the end of his tenure, tenant paranoia, and the war on masculinity. I bet wherever he is now, his lungs still burn when it's cold like mine do. Meanwhile, the building passed new emergency bylaws, quarterly air testing, transparent results, and no fines for lab submissions. I still live there, since now I figure it's the most guaranteed mold-free place in the world. Just to be safe, I have a HEPA filter, and right above it, I framed the invoice for my $14,000 hospital bill. I drew a heart around where it says paid in full by patient's HOA.